Well, rise and grind, DMV. Happy Sunday. We are waking up to a mixture of sun and clouds, but overall windy conditions will be seen across much of the DMV. So keep it here. We'll have a full check of that forecast coming up.
And finding forever homes. Dogs adopted in D.C. after more than 30 were seized following an armed standoff in D.C. Plus, the 2024 legislative session for the Virginia General Assembly comes to an end. The details on the bills making their way to Governor Glenn Youngkin's desk. Plus, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump holding rallies in a critical swing state. We'll tell you how the race for Georgia could impact the 2024 election.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, we are coming up on 8 o'clock on this Sunday morning. Look at that. The sun is up. Seems like a little windy out there. Our cameras are moving. Live look. That's Roslyn in the distance. That's Virginia. Looking so beautiful this morning. Thank you for starting your day with us here on DC News Now. I'm Tosin Fakile. I will be getting to our top stories in just a bit, but first, let's talk to Brittany. Brittany, radar behind you looking a little quieter than it did yesterday.
Yeah, you know, we are seeing much more quieter conditions in terms of precipitation than what we saw for your Saturday. However, we are going to be dealing with windy conditions as we head through your day today. So let's actually check out satellite and radar showing you what's been happening over the past couple of hours. We had some passing showers make their way into Frederick County as well as Montgomery County and portions of the district early today, but now we saw them move out. We are going to be keeping a close eye out though on Garrett County because you guys will be dealing with some snow as we head through much of your day today. And here's why. We have that departing low still moving off to the north. It's actually slowly beginning to strengthen as it continues to progress northwards, but then we're also going to be seeing a high pressure begin to develop just to our south. With those two, we're kind of sandwiched between the two storm systems. That's going to be allowing us to see windy conditions as we head through much of the day today. Temperature wise, not looking too bad out there. We're sitting at 47 degrees right now in the nation's capital, 49 as you head over there to Lexington Park. Cooler though as you head over there to Cumberland as well as Kaiser. Your temperatures right now are struggling to get out of the 30s, and overall today not looking too bad in terms of precipitation, but we are going to be tracking snow for Garrett County as we head through much of the day today. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of that forecast coming up.
Brittany, thank you. 8:01, nearly a dozen dogs have new homes this morning. They're among the 31 rescued from a southeast D.C. home during last month's standoff with the owner. Investigators say Stephen Radigan shot 3 D.C. police officers as they served an animal cruelty warrant. DC News Now's Dave Laval is at the Humane Rescue Alliance, where many of the dogs have been adopted.
14 of the 31 dogs recovered from the southeast D.C. home in February went up for adoption on Saturday. By the time the Humane Rescue Alliance closed its doors, all but 2 of them had new homes.
Hi.
Kiara Moore has never owned a Mercedes until now, along with a Gabbana. The brother-sister pit bull mix are heading to a new home with Moore's family and a better life.
The dogs are so cute and sweet, and I just was like, if we can rescue them from the shelter and give them a permanent home, that'd be great.
The 2 are among those seized from a home following the February 14th shootings that left 3 D.C. police officers wounded and led to an hours-long standoff, allegedly with Stephen Radigan. Investigators, according to the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office, first learned of the dogs after a security camera is said to have caught Radigan beat one of the dogs last April. They went to his home twice in January to address the number of dogs and their living conditions, which included metal cages.
These dogs have been through a lot, but at the same time, we've spent a lot of time with them over the past weeks and know that they are 100% ready to be in a new adoptive home. But this is also a big surge of people, and so I think, you know, much like people, anybody might get a little bit nervous, but I think you'll see that they'll just melt into your arms the minute you interact with them.
So I was just so glad they was able to hold them for us until we got here.
Thereby allow Kiara Moore and her family to take their newest members to their forever home. We've been told the remaining 17 dogs have either been adopted or receiving more training before they can find new homes. At the Humane Rescue Alliance, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Dave, thank you. At 8:04, police in Alexandria say a man is in custody after a barricade situation yesterday afternoon. Officials responded to North Olmsted Street at about 1 p.m. Now, Quantrell Avenue and North Olmsted Street were closed off as police were investigating. Those roads have since reopened. And authorities say a Hagerstown man was sentenced to 10 years in prison for a series of armed carjackings and attempted carjackings. Court documents show 22-year-old Carlos Guardado Eagle and other suspects carjacked 4 victims at gunpoint between May 15th and June 1st of 2022. Officials say Guardado Eagle and other suspects also attempted to carjack a 5th victim. The 22-year-old was arrested in June 2022. Virginia's 2024 General Assembly session is now over. Lawmakers adjourned this regular session yesterday. Democrats in the majority passing what they call priorities and Republicans leaving disappointed. Democrats in both chambers celebrated the passing of the bills to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2026, banning the sale of new assault weapons and providing teachers with 3% raises each year for the next 2 years. However, Republicans were disappointed with the budget bills passed by both chambers in the final minutes of the session, saying it would raise taxes.
We're very proud of what we've accomplished. I think we've shown that we can govern as a Democratic majority. We can stand as a counter to what Governor Young has been proposing.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I would submit to you that our friends on the other side have laid down quite a few extra miles of pavement in that regard.
Governor Glenn Youngkin will have 30 days to act on most of the bills passed in this year's session. That includes the budget. Now, coming up on 8:06 on this Sunday, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump each warning of dire consequences for the country if the other wins another term in the White House. Both rallied in Georgia yesterday. The state was a pivotal background in the 2020 elections. Biden accused Trump of wanting to roll back democracy in a potential second term. Meanwhile, Trump hammered Biden on the border and blamed him for the death of a 22-year-old nursing student last month.
Says he wants to be a dictator. I believe him. Folks, it's not hyperbole to suggest our freedoms are literally on the ballot this November.
Laken Riley would be alive today if Joe Biden had not willfully and maliciously eviscerated the borders of the United States.
Now, Biden's victory margin in Georgia in 2020 was about 0.25 percentage point. A new report shows the United States added 275,000 jobs in February. The Labor Department says healthcare, government, hospitality, retail, and construction sectors saw the most growth. The unemployment rate went up to 3.9% in February. It is the 25th straight month unemployment has remained under 4%. Of course, it comes amid high interest rates from the Federal Reserve and lower inflation. Well, we have sprung forward today, people. The clocks moved up an hour at 2 a.m. for daylight saving. Now, have you ever wondered why we set our clocks ahead? Why you lose an hour of sleep but gain more hours of sunlight in the evening? Well, experts say pushing our clocks ahead encourages people to spend time after work doing activities. On the other side, falling back an hour, they say, in the fall allows students to go to school when it's light outside. And as we spring forward this morning, the later sunsets, they may be good for the soul, but not so good for our health. Evening anchor Chris Flanagan spoke with one of the top sleep experts in the country from Georgetown University Hospital about the impact of the time change. That's the conversation in today's What's Going Around.
In the short term, we spring ahead, we lose an hour of sleep. That sounds fairly harmless, but that effect can be prolonged. It can be like a prolonged jet lag that can last days or weeks or even months in some people.
Dr. Walter, is there anything that all of us moms and dads can do for little ones to, help them kind of adjust a little easier, make it easier on us as parents?
Yeah, well, kids are pretty resilient. It'll take about a week, but they'll get back on schedule. It's the teenagers and young adults that have the biggest risk of this being a prolonged problem, because they tend to be the night owls anyway. They tend to have a delayed sleep phase anyway. And so if you now add bright light in the evening or more evening light to that, you can really prolong that so that they're not being able to get to bed early and then they have to get up for school or work or whatever. and they're going to be sleep deprived because of that.
Dr. Walter, I understand a lot of doctors and organizations, I guess, are against the time change in the spring, moving the clocks ahead. How come? Why do you see a lot of organizations are against that?
Well, if you look at the statistics, there are health consequences. In that week after the shift to daylight savings, there's a higher rate of heart attacks, there's a higher rate of injuries and car accidents, stroke increases, mental health and other cognitive problems increase in that time.
Dr. Waldhorn, great information. Really appreciate you taking some time. Thank you.
Okay.
Your time now, 8:09 on this Sunday morning, and stepping out the door, not looking too bad. But as we head through your Sunday, we're going to be keeping our eye out there in our mountain counties. We are expected to see snow as we head through much of your day today. By this evening, there is a slight chance for us to see a few showers trickle their way into the DC metro area. But the bigger story today will be the wind. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast coming up.